Alan suggested that I start from the very beginning, and so I will. First of all, from the time when I got here, over many, many years, a lot of work has been done here, and no permits were procured. I can't find many permits in the files from prior years at all. I now hold in my office more permits in a folder than this place has accumulated over a 30-year period. I probably have about 20 permits right now sitting in a file cabinet in my office. Because of the size of this town, relative to the size of the galaxy and relative to who the galaxy is, I think that there are times that the town may not have understood the magnitude of who we are and what we are and how big we are. And certain construction officials, also given the fact that we weren't doing a whole lot of restorative work, were not terribly involved here at the property. And as a result, we had a very symbiotic relationship where the Galaxy pretty much did whatever repairs it wanted to and didn't involve the town at all. And the town probably didn't realize what was going on here, and they weren't involved all that much in the repair and restoration work. And then I got here, and we developed the R&R budget, and we had a million different engineers and professionals and architects and everybody running around here. As a result, when we started to do this work, we started to apply for permits. In certain instances, the town told us that permits weren't required. In some instances, they told us that they were. In some instances, they really weren't sure. In some instances, neither were we.
Time out.
And I have a timeout. So I ended by saying, in some cases, the town didn't know what we needed, and in some cases, neither did we. But we had a good relationship with the town. We had a wonderful relationship with the town. We were able to talk to the town, and they were able to come here and talk to us, and the construction official would come and have coffee, and we would tell them what we were doing, and we had a terrific relationship. And they would look, and we would talk, and we were getting through the process beautifully. The laws on the books in the town of Guttenberg right now, Jane, they call for permit fees in the amount of $25 per thousand worth of work. That's the law that's on the books. So let's do the math. A $6 million project, who's got a calculator? A $6 million project.
2.5%.
At
2.5%.
Thank you. But I'm trying to make a point. At $25 per thousand.
You said in the meeting it would be $400,000 to get permits for the exterior envelope.
Well, for the work that we're doing here, if we do the math and we do some of the multiplication at $25 per thousand, think of what these costs are going to be to the galaxy.
No, that's right. That's enough. It's about $4,000.
Right. The only problem I have is that I think it's tough to be able to pick and choose which laws we're going to follow because we either agree or don't agree with them.
Okay, but okay, fine. So I won't argue it, and we'll just pay $400,000. But that's where this issue comes in. The law does say 25 per thousand, but the laws also, you know, there are also laws that say that you can't walk down the street holding your significant other's hand on a Sunday. So, you know, there comes a point where if the law isn't right, and this is what our country is all about, then we work to change those laws.
Right.
And
But we don't violate the law.
we're not violating it. There are some people who have made this issue, so, I'm sorry folks, one conversation please? Because we have made this issue now, a number of residents, I believe one in particular, have made this issue such a problem by bringing in the state and by involving the town and by really making everybody look at this under a microscope. They've cost us money in other ways, in the sense that now we can't move forward with these things. The town is incredibly hesitant to give us approvals for anything. We've lost recently 3 days in the women's steam room. The contractor lost 3 days where he couldn't work because of this permitting issue, where we didn't have these problems before, because the town of Guttenberg now is in some ways fearful to even give us these permits. And in some cases where permits weren't needed, all of a sudden they're needed, and we're not even sure what the situation is with those.
But Jane,
you made the comment that like, we don't have to pay for it, it's the contractors. But don't you think they're going to pass it? They pass it through to us. We pay for it one way or the other.
But the contracts are already written. And the contracts are written, and I'm sure the contractors are supposed
The
to.
contractor went up, I'm not your official engineer on the berm, but the way that it worked was the contractor went up, he pulled a permit for your berm. He was told he did not need a real permit, but if he wanted to pull one, it would cost him about $135,
Right.
plus a $65 contractor license fee.
Right.
He did very good. He pulled it, he followed everything that they needed to do. He bid on your facade job, and he estimated, again, about $135 for a permit, and he already had the contractor's license, so it worked out fine for him. He saved $65. Now would it be fair if the building department changed their rules, okay, to now charge $400,000 for something that doesn't even require a permit to be charged? So on your behalf, management, myself, the contractor, went up to the building department and said, listen, you know, these rules can't keep changing because these are issues that are going to cost people some money. So that fight worked. And you know what? We don't need a permit. We have it in a written form signed by the building department that we don't need a permit to do the facade work other than the permits that have already been pulled. And that saved 4 months that I hear, hey, you know what? Nice job. We fought off $400,000. If you don't want to do that, okay, and you don't want to save money, then in a group, we have to understand, I am bewildered. I've never seen such a thing.
No. I want to save money. I don't. What I'm saying is that if there are laws, I don't think we can pick and choose what
We
we're going
don't pick
to
and
do.
choose. We
That's
ask the
all.
building department what we have. Now, before we walk, we ask them if we can walk. If they say, yes, we can walk, we ask them to sign a piece of paper. If we ask them, well, if we can walk today, can we walk tomorrow? We're asking these questions a lot. It's a great thing. It costs you money every time I have to go take that Tuesday night walk. It costs you money every time a contractor moves forward, he has to be stopped. And then he realizes the next time he's asked for a price, it's tough working over here at the Galaxy.
I understand that, but I have to also say that this is going to be our 4th driveway repair, and I think some of it is that, and before Susan Fitzpatrick came here, it's because the way things were done, and I think that's why people really want to be more stickler for the rules now.
But just so you know, a permit is not showing anything towards quality.
I understand, but can I say something? Doctors and lawyers get licensed. It doesn't say anything about quality, but it's
I
an
agree.
oversight role.
Martha, did you want
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's after 11 o'clock.
to deal with the Guttenberg Buildings Department only? Jerry?
Yeah, I get a little bit tired of misinformation about the town of Guttenberg and the building department. You cannot go to West New York. West New York has nothing to do with the Guttenberg building department. Everett, let me finish. They do not do the inspections. Everett, you do not know what you're talking about. Some of the employees, Everett, the building department reports to me. Let me finish,
One at a
Martha.
time.
Let me
This is
finish,
one at a
Rhonda.
time.
Where you are misinformed. Some of the employees that work for us part-time in the building department of Guttenberg also work full-time for West New York. But you do not go to West New York if you want a Guttenberg permit. You go to the Guttenberg Building Department. And they're not just open 2 hours. The building department is open every day. Our construction code official, if you have problems, is there Tuesday and Thursday night from 4 to 7. And I was up there yesterday, and Chris was up there for about 4 hours with him, working on Galaxy issues.
You're a newcomer. He's a newcomer. I've been here 30 years. I know what to do. I know who to go to. I can tell you that.
Well, if you go to West New York to get permits for Guttenberg, you don't.
Keep it down, okay? All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, but I